we're going to be making our paper woven tapestry by weaving different colors of paper into a main piece of paper that's our loom. So you're going to need a piece of paper, and these are different colors of strips of paper that I've cut out. And you'll need, if you have the same size paper as I have and you have cut your strips to be the same size as mine, you'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it totally depends on how big your paper is and how big your strips are. The most important thing though is that your strips need to be the same length if you're looking at it this way, or the same width if you're looking at it this way, as your main piece of paper. The first thing we're going to do to make our loom is to fold our paper in half. Try and make sure that the corners line up. Then you're going to measure 1 inch at the top, 1 inch at the bottom. Connect them by drawing a line and fold both pieces of paper at that line. This can be a little tricky to do, but do your best. This is our stop line, so I'm actually going to write stop. You don't have to, but we're never going to cut over this line. Next thing we're going to do is to divide this into an even number of warp strings. So I'm going to measure, my paper is 9 inches, so I'm going to measure at 4.5 and cut it into 2 pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want, you can measure all along the way. Now I have a pair of pants. I'm going to cut these in half again. You need an even number of warp threads. So I'm going to cut mine into 4. Then if I want an even number that's twice as many, I can multiply 4 by 2 and I get 8. So I'm going to cut each of these in half again. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want it to, you could actually measure out and mark your lines with your rulers. Every time I have stopped at my stop line, that's because when we open it up, we want to have 2 ends so that the weft strings that we're going to be weaving don't just fall out. All right, now I have 2 different colors so that you can really easily see the difference between my different strings. I'm going to turn my paper vertically in front of me. My first one is going to be this light color. When I'm weaving, I go over, under, over, under, over, under. So I'm going to start by my purple paper is going over my yellow. Then the next time it'll go under the yellow. Then it'll go over the yellow. Do it with me. Under, over, under, over, under. And I tuck it down at the bottom. That's why we have that stop line. My next one is going to be the opposite. So watch. If I do the same thing, which is over, under, it wants to do that, but then watch. It's just going to slip down over the top of the purple. So we're going to do the opposite. This one started over, so this one starts under and then goes over. So we have under, over, say it with me. Under, where does it go next? Over, great. Under, over, under, over. Now I'm going to do another purple because I have my pattern going purple, orange, purple, orange. I want this one to be the exact same as this last purple. So do I start over or under? Right, I start over. Over, this one's going to be even harder because it naturally is going to want to go the same way as the orange. Over, under, over, under. You can always check, is your purple always lining up in the same way? And then the same thing for the orange. I want it to be the same as this orange, so it's the opposite of the purple. I start under, over, under, over. I'm going to keep working and I'll come back. And I've woven all the way to the top. So now I can go in and just really tighten it up and make sure it looks nice. So make sure that my weft strings go to the top, and I can slide them down, tuck this one up a little bit, and make sure they're evenly spaced. Now I have my weaving.